What is going on, everybody? It's your boy, Robbie Miles, the teacher of physical media. And I got a great video for you guys today. This 2000s gem that I absolutely love is back in stock. It's a bomb as fuck box set. And I'm going to tell you guys exactly what movie that is. But let's hit that music. All right, so I'm going to get right into it here. I'm not going to make you guys wait, but there is a 2000s horror movie. The year two in the year 2000, a year 2000 horror movie that I absolutely adore, and Second Sight did a phenomenal box set of it. And it is recently, as of today, to my understanding, back in stock. It was out of stock for quite a while, and that is none other than the drum roll, please. Ginger Snaps box set from Second Sight Films. Okay, so Ginger Snaps, starring Katharine Isabelle, is a phenomenal 2000 horror movie. Basically about two sisters who are obsessed with death and dying, and they're the outcasts and they're goth and all this stuff, and they always kind of stage their own deaths. And one night, a creature of the night attacks Katharine Isabelle. I don't remember her name in the movie at this time, but and it is a werewolf, and she starts going through these changes, and her interest in boys starts changing, and her sister gets affected, and it's basically the fallout of what happens after she gets bitten. And I will say this. Okay. It's a werewolf movie and it's so much fun, but it has a tone and a mood that you rarely see from a horror movie, guys. This movie is like morose, okay, is the right word to put it. It is sad. It is very goth, very noir, very like again, I think morose is is the right word. It's a very morose style, guys, and it's very downtrodden and almost like poetic, to be honest with you. And the ending, it's very hard to see what happens in the end, but it is a very, very interesting ending that you definitely will not expect. It's an ending that does not typically happen. It's not an ending that you really see often. And it's different, guys. This is a different kind of horror movie. And so I'll give you guys a taste of that artwork on there. So they did this kind of red blood moon finish on it. It's a glossy slip case art. It is beautiful, truly. Okay. I saw the J card on mine, but you can see here's the artwork on the back. Now, this edition contains Ginger Snaps, Ginger Snaps Unleashed, and Ginger Snaps Back the Beginning. Now, Ginger Snaps, the original one, came out in 2000, and this movie felt like, to be honest, like the forbidden fruit. Like, I remember, and again, I was born in 86, so I was 14 when this came out. This movie was like right at the start of my teen years, and it felt like that movie that like was forbidden, because I remember like seeing it on TV at night and being like, I shouldn't be watching this, and it like freaked me the fuck out. And so Ginger Snaps was like such a big part of that era for me, that it really represents the forbidden fruit, like still in the VHS era, but not quite out of it yet. And it was like the physical media VHS style was still around, but it was definitely around in the video stores, no question about it. And I remember the covers, but it was like truly one of those movies that kind of like what's the Drew Barrymore movie? I'm drawing a blank. It's kind of a similar vibe. If you guys remember, hit me up. It's like a kind of like a romantic, like thriller kind of movie with Drew Barrymore in the first one. She plays like a vixen minx that she like seduces the main character's dad. I forget what it's called. Anyway, they both had a similar vibe, and they were both like late at night movies that like was predicated towards teens that weren't really supposed to watch them, and they just kind of crossed the border of like what you shouldn't be watching, but they were kind of okay. And Ginger Snaps was like the peak of that for me. And it came out in the year 2000, so I vividly remember like putting on the TV on late at night and seeing Ginger Snaps on like the crawl, like the guide crawl, and being like, oh, ooh, that movie's on again. Maybe I should try and watch it this time, and things like that. But anyway, so this is a gorgeous edition from Second Sight. And before I show you guys that it is back in stock, because it is, and it wasn't for a while, and I was curious if it was going to be out of print, but they actually restocked it. So you can get this edition from Second Sight. It is Region B, so if you don't have a Region Free player, I'd stay away. But it is a gorgeous, gorgeous release. You get the booklet. It is I mean, look at this, guys. How gorgeous is this? Oop. You gotta scroll through and see. Gorgeous, high, fine prints. Second Sight does phenomenal work. But so this is actually back in stock on Second Sight. But before I show you guys that their website, I want to just take you through year 2000 real quick, because this movie, like, I'm so glad it got a proper physical media release, because it really feels like a forgotten film, and I truly mean that, because the year 2000, like, I was going through it before I came on this video. It fucking blew. Like, it was a really bad year for horror. And the 90s, were excellent. And it's a generation that a decade that I absolutely adore these days when it comes to horror movies. And it does feel somewhat forgotten. But the year 2000 especially was like the lowest point of horror in a very long time. Listen to the movies that came out in 2000. Okay, you had American Psycho, which has become a phenomenon, and that's fine. American Psycho is rock solid. Blair Witch 2, Toxic Avenger 4, Dial D for Demons, Final Destination 3, I believe. Hollow Man with Kevin Bacon. You had the Japanese Grudge 1 and 2. So that was really like the start of the J-horror, right? Like, that was when the Grudge came out. That was all of a sudden, like, that's the explosion of The Ring and The Grudge. That was like 2000, 2001, 2002. So, Killjoy, which is a full moon feature. You had Scary Movie, the original. Okay, you had Scream 3, which is, in my opinion, the worst Scream film. Okay, I still enjoy it because it's Scream, but it is the worst Scream film in my opinion. I prefer the later sequels much more. You have Urban Legend Final Cut, and you have What Lies Beneath. So think about it. Those are the big horror movies that year. There is nothing of note. Literally nothing. I would say Scary Movie is probably the most noteworthy horror movie that came out that year. I mean, I guess American Psycho. But and then you had Ginger Snaps, which again went largely unnoticed and it was kind of like this straight to video kind of situation. I don't even know if it had a theatrical release. I'd have to look that up. But it might have been just a straight to video situation. And anyway, so you had this Ginger Snaps movie that came out in this year that horror was like almost non-existent, to be honest with you. In looking at these movies, horror was just not in, and it wasn't selling in 2000, so people weren't making big horror movies, right? I would say more so they were doing thrillers, again, like American Psycho and What Lies Beneath. Those are and Hollow Man. Those are not true horror movies, but they were thrillers that were doing really well. And it was a very minimal amount of horror movies. So Ginger Snaps, a movie that is actually fantastic, really fell to the wayside, guys. And it really did not get the love it deserves. So the fact that we finally got it got this gorgeous treatment from Second Sight, it really is a special thing for me, because it was right in the heart of that period for me where I was a huge, really starting to harness my love of horror, and it was that Forbidden movie. I'm so glad I can look back and be like, this is a movie that I like really felt forbidden for me growing up, and I'm glad I can enjoy it now as an adult and be like, that's cool stuff. So if you go onto Second Sight's website, let me share my screen for just a moment. Share screen, Second Sight. Boom. So you're going to see that it's available. Okay, this was not available. I checked maybe 3 days ago. So it's possible that it came back in stock then, but I'm willing to bet it was like in the last day or two, because this had been listed as out of stock, but not out of print. So it was just listed as out of stock. So this is a limited edition though. All right. So bear in mind, like, it's very possible this stock sells out and then they will not have it again. And I will tell you this, with Second Sight, when something gets, goes out of print, the prices get jacked up astronomically on eBay and third party. So if you're interested in getting this set, and I strongly recommend you do it if you have a region-free player, even if you don't, but you're planning on getting one, this is a release you want to have in your collection. It's the definitive release, no question about it. Listen to these extras as well. You have new audio commentaries by Mary Beth McAndrews and Terry Mesnard. Audio commentary with director John Fawcett, writer Karen Walton. You have a Canadian Uncanny, Stacey Abbott on Ginger Snaps, A Blood Red Moon, a new interview with director John Fawcett, a new interview with the producer, and the storyboard artist. The Making of Ginger Snaps, I believe, was on another release, but you get it here too. So I believe this is the only release where you get all this stuff and all 3 movies. I would have liked something with Catherine Isabelle. That could have been cool. But I mean, just the commentaries alone to me are super cool on this. Now I just recently watched the first one again on this release. It looks beautiful. It is a standard Blu-ray, but it is a new scan, I believe. Etc. And it just looks great, guys. Second Sight did a great job with it. And I strongly recommend this as something you should get in your collection because it is back in stock. Don't sleep on it. This release gets a yeah, baby from me.
Yeah, baby. Yeah.
And so, yeah, let me know in the comments, guys. Is this a movie you have in your collection? Do you have this release? Do you plan on getting it now that it's back in stock? Are you a fan of Second Sight? Let me know if you guys have seen Ginger Snaps or if you've seen the sequels. It is a movie that I really adore. And again, it came out right at the heart of my, my love of horror was booming. I was entering my teens. So, Ginger Snaps will always hold a special place in my heart. So yeah, appreciate you guys watching. Hit me up in the comments, guys. I appreciate all of you. Also, it's Monster Mania weekend. I'll be hitting that up tomorrow and showing you, doing a video on all of that good stuff. All right, so this is your boy Miles, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.